As you're currently seeing this video, I am down in Florida. That's kind of irrelevant to what we're doing today. Welcome back to Hexbots Heat K. Last time in Heat J, it was Hypershock and the subbed-in robot Ike Drillster moving on to the tournament, as well as Dark Matter moving into the third place bracket, as Duck in Category 5 and unfortunately Demilitarized Zone sitting out. Now next up for Heat K, it's all spinners galore, with a Hexbots Hunters champion and a few other robots and a rookie. Without further ado, let's get started. First, from Havertown, Pennsylvania, Quarter Pounder. The runners-up of the first series is back at it again. Quarter Pounder has its signature top hat spinner and basically no ground game. It has a very destructive weapon, like it's very powerful. However, one major weakness besides the wheels being exposed, it has no ground game. How will it win? It's for him to decide. From West Palm Beach, Florida, Obrit. Obrit has yet to make some success in this series. However, he says they'll be back better than ever in the series, and well, here they are. It's got a decent weapon, however, its weakness kind of just exists. It's not been good ever since. From Norman, Oklahoma, Mortal Enemy. The imposter of Spikeosaurus is back. Mortal Enemy is finally back as he was reportedly drunk during the 4th of July special. It's still got its powerful bar spinner, however, he's just still another Spikeosaurus wannabe, so don't get your hopes up. From Southampton, United Kingdom, Dudley. How and why Dudley is back for another series is anyone's guess. But yeah, Dudley are back for another season. It's still got the dual overhead spinners, however, it just doesn't want to work at all. And from Grapevine, Texas, Distorted Blade. At least, but not last, is Distorted Blade. It's got a very powerful weapon, which actually uses it to move, as well as that back wheel to help it turn. However, major weakness, its mobility. Like, what were they thinking with this robot? As to kick things off, we have the Hexbots Hunters champion, Quarter Pounder, and also runners-up of Series 1, as well as Obrit. Nothing special here, just Obrit. The robot that doesn't even make to the tournament, except for like once in Series 1, but it lost to Bite Force. Well, in any cases, let's bring in this fight and see what happens. 3, 2, 1... activate. Let the bot battle begin. Quarter Pounder and Obrit up to speed. Big hit to start the fight. A wedgelet has come off of Obrit and the top panel as well. Major damage done there by Quarter Pounder, as they already start the fight off pretty good for the Hexbots Hunters champion, as Obrit is trying to get back up to speed and push around Quarter Pounder. It's Quarter Pounder ricocheting around the arena for some reason, or mainly just gyroing, as Obrit is pushing back Quarter Pounder into the pulverizer, as the pulverizer hits Obrit, and now it's hitting Quarter Pounder on the head, or at least the hat, I suppose. I don't really know. Anyways, Quarter Pounder, again, the fan favorite, coming back into the arena for hopefully another go with the tournament. They are going to have a bit of an easy competition, so we'll see if Quarter Pounder can take advantage of that. Obrit is stuck on its own top panel. That's not good at all. As Quarter Pounder is trying to aim, I think it's trying to go for the weapon belt of Obrit, or trying to incapacitate it, but it doesn't work. Obrit gets free and is shunting back Quarter Pounder into that back corner, but Obrit is still keeping its grounds as it's pushing Quarter Pounder into the side wall. That's how Quarter Pounder mainly loses fights. He gets stuck in the side wall and just can't get back down. That's how it lost its fight in Series 1's championship against Kingslayer. I'm sorry. Quarter Pounder pushing around. Can he maybe do more to Obrit? I don't really know. Obrit with another nice hit onto Quarter Pounder as it's trying to push him into the screws. I don't even know what they're doing. Quarter Pounder is still trying to land some hits, but is it being more controlled? I don't think so. I think the control is just mainly going to Obrit right now. And possibly same with aggression. I will say damage is going to Quarter Pounder because
Orbit's pieces are literally in the arena right now. As Orbit being shunted around, Quarter Pounder goes up into the screws for some reason, but he gets away. But Orbit there to capitalize, but Quarter Pounder's doing the same as well. If he could get Orbit into the screws, he can maybe win the fight, but Orbit escapes. And Quarter Pounder's trying to regain its consciousness with the spinner. A big hit! Quarter Pounder almost flips himself. That was a good hit there by Quarter Pounder, but Quarter Pounder is still remaining. He's never backing down to this series, and he never will. Orbit also destined to try and make the tournament. The last time he did was back at Series 1, as we're getting close to a judge's decision. This is pretty close from the both robots, but let's see who they vote for.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've entered a judge's decision. We have a split decision. Judge 1 scored the battle for Orbit. Judge 2 scored the battle for Quarter Pounder. And Judge 3 scored the battle for the winner, Orbit. Pretty tough call there for the judges. Yes, you can make the argument Quarter Pounder could have won. However, it didn't really do a whole lot because it was mainly just Orbit controlling and being aggressive to Quarter Pounder. If only they had forks. One can only imagine Quarter Pounder using forks in a fight instead of just gyroing off the ground. Maybe that could be a bucket list for Season 5, maybe. In any cases, in the blue square, we've got Mortal Enemy, and in the red square is Dudley, the robot that doesn't even do anything. I have no idea how this thing could even win, but let's get with the fight. 3, 2, 1... activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Two spinners up to speed. Mortal Enemy and Dudley. Dudley just moving around. Mortal Enemy trying to stay nice and controlled. They want to get to the tournament badly. However, it looks like their spinner seems to be stuck in the side wall. And I think maybe Dudley could take advantage. The pulverizer coming down and I guess freeing Mortal Enemy. But Mortal Enemy seems to be having a lot of control issues right now, as it looks like it's just barely moving, as there goes an entire spinner off of Dudley. That's a beautiful hit there by Mortal Enemy. Let's see if they can keep this up. Dudley is just basically an immovable object, so I feel like it's curtains for Dudley. However, they are still moving away from their circumference, so the judges will not count them down. However, it looks like Mortal Enemy seems to be stuck, because we're going to get Hans to help us. Thank you very much. I owe you one. Anyways, Mortal Enemy slowly but surely trundling along. Is Dudley moving? I mean, yes he is. Mortal Enemy gets stuck into the side wall, and I don't think he's moving at all. It looks like Dudley is gonna win the fight. I don't even know. I guess that's it. Dudley is gonna win his first fight again. His Mortal Enemy's just dead.
Well, to their credit, Dudley did make the third place bracket last year, so I can't really blame them. Mortal Enemy, they really need to step up their game. It's a real humiliating defeat when you lose to Dudley of all robots. It's like Ocean Man losing to, like, Hammer of God or something. That's very funny. In any cases, next fight we've got Orbit versus Distorted Blade. Now, Distorted Blade is a little bit interesting. It only has one set of drive, and that's its back wheel, which mainly helps it control itself. The real mobility is the spinner, like, spinning and causing the whole thing to have an inertia or something. I don't know, that's what the team told me. Let's see if they'll do well against Orbit. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Orbit up to speed and Distorted Blade moving along. There goes the top panel immediately off of Orbit. Distorted Blade, its only way of moving is that back tire and the overall movement of the spinner. However, I don't know if it's really going to be enough for mobility, as the pulverizer hammers on the top of Distorted Blade. We have seen Distorted Blade in the New Blood tournament, where it lost to a judge's decision against Final Lap, if you remember back then. I don't know what its plan really is in this fight, because Orbit is just pushing Distorted Blade back, and Distorted Blade is just slowly but surely trying to trundle along and do the damage. to Obrit, but I don't think it's really going to work here, as Obrit is trying to evade and trying to push back Distorted Blade. It pushes him into the Pulverizer. But yeah, Distorted Blade is up to speed and tries to get a good hit, but really, it can't. It's kind of like Rex, how it uses its spinner as mobility and the back also as like a sort of self-riding mechanism, or also to walk. It's like that, but Distorted Blade is more of a horizontal spinner. And it kind of uses the inertia of its weapon as mobility. But I don't really know if it could work against a robot like Obrit, as Obrit is just easily pushing Distorted Blade back into the sidewall. I don't really know if that's going to be enough for it, but Obrit's weapon... Oh wait, never mind. I thought Distorted Blade like took out the weapon of Obrit. I guess not. As Distorted Blade is trying to get away, but Obrit is just there to capitalize. Why? Because it has better mobility than whatever the hell Distorted Blade is doing. As Distorted Blade is punted into the Pulverizer, and the spinner has come off Distorted Blade! So now that main locomotion is gone, and the entire spinner is just gone off of Distorted Blade. So what kind of damage could it really do? Answer? Well, I don't really know. It's just a moving wheel, and that's it. So, besides that wheel, it doesn't really have any good locomotion. However, Obrit's just giving it his all in this fight against Distorted Blade. As he just kind of just says it's a piece of cake, really, because Distorted Blade only has one actual way of moving, and that's the wheel on the back. However, I don't really think it's enough for Distorted Blade, as if it ever goes to a judge's decision, I feel like it'd be pretty obvious on who wins this fight. Distorted Blade, well, it's moving, I guess just Distorted Blade just doesn't want to work. Alright, well, Obrit wins.
This is why mobility is a key thing in this entire part. If you can't move on your own, then get out of here. You have no place here. Okay, I'm being a bit too hard here. Well, in any cases, we go on to our next fight, and it's a rematch between Quarter Pounder and Mortal Enemy. Last time these two faced off, Mortal Enemy was kicking Quarter Pounder's ass. However, it got stuck on the wedge, and it just proceeded to die. Quarter Pounder won the fight miraculously, and went on to the tournament afterward, along with Mortal Enemy. But now we see who really wins this. There is no wedge, and it never was a wedge. So let's begin. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot rematch begin. Quarter Pounder won the fight against Mortal Enemy. Can he win it again, or will Mortal Enemy get revenge? Let's see. Mortal Enemy just rams into the wall. That's just brilliant, you guys. Mortal Enemy trying to move back. Quarter Pounder also moving along. Mortal Enemy's having some severe driving problems, and I guess so is Quarter Pounder, but a big hit by Quarter Pounder. It gets him stuck into the sidewall. Can Mortal Enemy win the rematch? No, he can't. Quarter Pounder gets free. What a save by Quarter Pounder. As Quarter Pounder... Oh! I think they gave him the final curtain call. Well, it looks like Mortal Enemy is dead. And, I guess Quarter Pounder's just gonna win the fight. Huh. Yeah.
Looks like Mortal Enemy's age has finally caught up to him, as he now gains 2 losses in a row, and now Quarter Pounder now sits with 4 points. We were gonna have possibly the greatest fight ever, but with Dudley against Distorted Blade, but he died again, so, that's gonna make 2 rookies in a row that have to be subbed in, so we'll get out the other rookie this year. From Bristol, United Kingdom, Seraphim.
Eventual third placers in the 4th of July special is Seraphim. He was really impressive in said 4th of July special. However, he did have some driving problems. I don't know if those will become an issue in this heat, or if he will actually excel at that.
Well, I guess that makes 2 rookies in a row that have to be subbed in this year. Last time it was Egg Drillster, and he made it to the tournament. Let's see if Seraphim could do something here. Even with their rather sluggish control, it might make for a interesting competition fight between him and Dudley. But let's find out between the 2 British machines. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Dudley up to speed. Seraphim slowly but surely trundling along out of the square. And it's moving. The spinner is up to speed. You better be careful around that weapon of Seraphim. It's really powerful. That's how we managed to get 3rd place in the eventual 4th of July special from a few weeks ago. If you remember back, Dudley trying to move back as Seraphim's just going around in circles for some reason. Seraphim lines the weapon. A big hit pops up Dudley into the back corner as the British machine is doing in all the work. Although, to be fair, Dudley is from Britain, so you can't really be all that excited for 2 British machines. But anyways, Dudley trying to get its weapon up to speed. Seraphim tries to align in with that spinner, and and the bar just goes flying off of Dudley again. Well, is Dudley even moving? Well, no, Dudley isn't even moving. I guess Seraphim just made the final curtain call on the gyro machine. How about that?
Lucky that Seraphim was able to wake up this time and not be a lumbering slump like he was in the 4th of July special. Yes, he did get third place, so that was mainly because it was just stuck in one place. Really need to fix their drive there. Anyways, we got the first placers of so far, Obrit, and the last placers, which is Mortal Enemy. They've had a lot of recent struggles right now with their battery control, so let's see if it will work out for them, or will Obrit take the upset? 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Obrit up to speed and Mortal Enemy there to chase him down. He needs points desperately as Obrit already has 5 points from a judge's decision win and a knockout. However, it looks like he's going to get another knockout here as Mortal Enemy has died again. Well, Mortal Enemy, I guess, is not going to get anything. Obrit gets another 3 points.
I guess we'll say a sad goodbye for Mortal Enemy as they probably won't get any points today. Next up, we've got Quarter Pounder against Dudley. This should be pretty interesting. We got the Top Hat Spinner versus the Gyro Walker that at this point doesn't want to work, but it somehow won against Mortal Enemy. I think it was just because Mortal Enemy was drunk. Let's be real here, people. Anyways, let's see who will win the fight today. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let's see what a battle begin. Quarter Pounder up to speed. The United Kingdom machine versus the United States machine. Did they do? I don't think they fought each other. Quarter Pounder pushing back Dudley into that corner. A big hit by them, pushing back Dudley into that corner. And now getting up to speed as Dudley is trying to get away from that area. But he does so, but loses the bar in the process. Well, it's not really looking too good for Dudley right now. It looks worse for wear right now as Quarter Pounder goes in with a big charge, pushing back Dudley. And I don't think Dudley can even get free. Yeah, that bar seems to be stuck on the arena. I think it's much like Quarter Pounder. It's the final curtain call for Dudley, as the British machine is going to get another knockout loss. Quarter Pounder with a surprising victory. What a win for them.
Well, down goes Dudley, as we're going to see them later on face Obrit. But now we say one last fight for Mortal Enemy as he faces the rookies Seraphim. So let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Mortal Enemy moving. Seraphim getting their weapon up to speed and hitting the wall for some reason. That's not what you want to do with a robot like Mortal Enemy, but to their credit, Mortal Enemy hasn't really been the greatest in this heat. And I think Mortal Enemy just died again. It barely even hit Seraphim. Well, Mortal Enemy's just going to have a frustrating season this year. Seraphim just wins from doing absolutely nothing.
Cease. Well, another loss from Mortal Enemy as he goes down and Seraphim gets 6 points so far on the leaderboard. Next up is Obrit against Dudley. I think we all know where this is going, so let's just jump into the fight. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Obrit up to speed. Dudley, well, trying to move out of their square. As Dudley goes in for another hit with Obrit, but Obrit is just there to capitalize. Can he get that weapon off? I don't really know. Dudley seems to be a lot more... answered my question in like the first few seconds. Dudley is not looking too good right now. It already lost one of its bars, and the other just came off! Well, Dudley just had an incision with the bar spinners. Obrit gets the full...
And finally, after so long, Obrit finally goes to the tournament after, like, what, 2-3 years, I think? And it took him that long. It just took 3 straight knockouts against It took 3 straight knockouts against... You know what, I don't even care anymore. Next up is Quarter Pounder versus Seraphim to round out the field. So, whoever wins this goes through to the tournament, and whoever loses goes to the 3rd place bracket. Let's see who wins. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Quarter Pounder up to speed, and Seraphim up to speed as well. This will be another challenge for Seraphim if they could get a knockout win. But they did win against Spikeosaurus, so don't count them out just yet. Quarter Pounder trying to find a way to get Seraphim. That was a big hit, pushing Seraphim into the side wall. Trying to recreate its mistakes, and doing it again with another nice hit onto Seraphim. Seraphim is not backing down. Something has come off. I think it's the spinner of Quarter Pounder. A little piece on the spinner of Quarter Pounder has come loose. And now Quarter Pounder is getting back up to speed, and Seraphim trying to capitalize. A nice hit by Quarter Pounder onto the wings of Seraphim. Although they're more or less just for decoration. Not really for the robot itself, but they're getting up to speed. A nice hit. A big hit! Quarter Pounder is on his head! And Seraphim are gonna win the fight! Quarter Pounder, they have no way of getting back up. And Seraphim, my oh my, what a monumental upset!
What a great fight to end things off. Congratulations to Obrit for finally making a tournament after 3 years with 11 points. And Seraphim knocking it out of the park with 3 straight knockouts to end its season with 9 points. As he goes on to the tournament, we say a sad sorry goodbye for mortal enemy at Dudley, although did they really stood a chance this year? Did they? And then, more surprisingly, with Quarter Pounder in the back here with 7 points going into the 3rd place Desperado tournament. Well, I guess that's gonna do. That was rather kind of quick there, but yeah. Obrit and Seraphim go through. Quarter Pounder into the 3rd place bracket. Next up, we have T-Bone, King Cobra, Komodo Dragon, Final Lap, and Seraphim. Some random robots clash. Well, in any cases, we'll see you in the next heat, whenever that'll be.